Welcome to the Philistines, the podcast where we discuss all things movies. Join us as we dive deep into the latest releases, revisit classic films, and explore the art of cinema. Whether you're a film fanatic or just love a good flick, we've got you covered. From Hollywood blockbusters to indie gems, we'll be breaking down the storytelling, cinematography, and everything in between. So grab some popcorn, sit back, and get ready for some cinematic magic. If you like what you hear, please consider subscribing to our Patreon at patreon.com/Philistines. We offer tiers at the $1, $5, and $20 level. For the $5 tier grants the ability to request films for future episodes. This is the Philistines, where movies are more than just entertainment, they're an experience. All around you. And welcome back to another episode of the Philistines. Thanks for joining us today on this talk, as Lucy, my friend, talks to me. Is that funny?
Oh, that's funny. It's funny now.
Of course, I'm joined today by the one and only. You can join us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for brand new episodes of the Philistines. Thanks for listening to each of those episodes. Some of the most previous episodes include the worst movie of 2023, Strays, one of the great animated movies of 2023, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem, the 2010 Troll Hunter, legendary film about a legendary creature.
Yes.
The Last Voyage of Demeter, and our very own Patreon exclusive M. Night Shyamalan ranking of his filmography. But today we are discussing a much anticipated movie on my side. I'm not sure if you even knew about this.
No idea.
Much anticipated since when? I don't really know. I can't remember when I first heard about it. But I'm happy to discuss today about Talk to Me, the 2023, depending on where you live, film Talk to Me, directed by a couple of YouTubers, Philip and Michael Philippou.
Yeah, Philippou. Philippou?
They're a kind of interesting couple of characters, I think. I watched a few things about them, and they have a lot of energy, as you'd expect maybe from YouTubers. They feel very YouTuberish. I kind of like that, because it gives nice variety to the director scene. So right off the top, we're going to now start guessing whether or not we liked the film. Each of us liked the film. So do you think I liked this film?
Yes. I think you really like this film.
You think I really liked this film? Interesting.
Well, I don't think it's probably your favorite 824 film, of course, but I think you really liked it. I think you enjoyed it.
I think you mostly enjoyed this. I think you probably liked it more than... you probably liked it as much as X and Pearl. It's kind of in that realm, maybe, for you. That's what I was thinking.
Yes.
Less than Troll Hunter, but more than X and Pearl, kind of right in that nook.
Yeah, I think I liked X and Pearl maybe a tad bit more.
Okay.
But yeah, not far from it.
But way less than Hereditary.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Way less than Hereditary.
Yeah, so a couple of YouTubers by the name of Danny and Michael Philippou directed this film. An interesting couple of guys, right? Did you see your interviews with them?
I did.
They're high-strung.
Yes.
Or they're high energy. High-strung maybe not the right word to say.
No, definitely high energy.
Yeah.
Definitely did not give me director vibes.
Yes.
If you would have told me, like, before I even probably watched this film, maybe you showed me the trailer and then you showed me a video of these guys and you said those are the directors, I would have not believed you whatsoever.
Yeah, even if you check out their YouTube, it still feels kind of out of place. Like, these guys made this movie, they made this possible and stuff, and I'm like, all right, that's actually fucking cool as shit.
Yeah, I agree. It not only does their YouTube career get their, creative juices flowing, that's kind of cool that they took that route. They didn't go to a prestigious film school, unless they did. I didn't really do any background on them. But they didn't get their experiences from a prestigious place or anything like that. They got it from doing YouTube videos, from, basically getting down and dirty and figuring shit out, which I like. And then them being YouTubers really gives you a new take on things. That's for sure.
Yeah, it definitely kind of recalibrates what a filmmaker looks like and what the possibilities of indie films kind of look like.
Yeah.
Especially out of Australia, where the film scene's not the most vibrant thing. They had previous credits on the film Babadook, which was another Australian film.
What do you mean? What did they worked on the Babadook? Doing
Yeah.
what?
I don't know.
They just worked on it
They worked on something.
with the Babadook?
They were probably PAs or something. Yeah, so I have mixed feelings about this film. I like it. I think it's I think it's an awesome kind of directorial debut for these guys. And I really hope they make lots of films, in the future. But there is something there's something almost kind of incoherent about this film I don't like, and there's something kind of almost generic that I don't like. That's just, I don't know exactly what it is. Maybe we can dissect that a little bit here in a minute. But it's so risky in some places, and it's got so much personality in some places that it just kind of really plateaus in other areas. And I'm just like, oh, I wish you would have just kept going with whatever that was, and I think half of that has to do with probably performances. I feel like every performance here is pretty weak, with the exception of our main character. I think she's really great, and I think she's caught on camera really great. And I guess I'm kind of stuck on this confused point that I'm not clear. It's not clear to me if this is actually an allegory, or it's less of an allegory, I guess, but it's really just almost one-to-one metaphor of resorting to drugs to deal with grief, drama, guilt type thing. I'm not getting any clear say-so, I guess, from the creators here, the directors. I know they didn't write this film. Well, I should say I know they didn't come up with the embryonic kind of stage of this film. A guy named Daley Pearson came up with this, and he is one of the creators of the animated show Bluey, which is strange. And then I know I guess one of the brothers and Bill Heinzman helped flesh it out. And I'm sure Michael played a huge role in that too. But I'm not seeing a lot of
like that confirmation.
Confirmation I think that should be made here, because it's not very surrealistic in messaging. It's, I guess, surrealistic by nature just because it's a horror movie, right? I feel like that's just innate in horror, right? But I feel like it's so on the fucking nose that I feel like there needs to be a little bit of a story here, like I guess just a commentary here from the writers, kind of indicating just the messaging, because it just feels so on the nose. I feel like I'm kind of missing that, because it's not quite like Barbie, where I think there's a little bit more of supposed to be a little bit more of a comedic element there. That obviously, if you can't explain the joke. That's not how jokes work, right? Mm-hmm. That's an important part of Barbie. So I don't think Greta Gerwig's ever going to come clean. Not to be conspiratorial, that she's whatever, but maybe I'm giving her too much credit. I don't know. I think she's probably much smarter than people are wanting to believe about that film. Although I don't think that film was all that successful either, so I don't know. But I like Greta Gerwig. But this film is so on the nose about what it's like to be part of drug culture. Not drug culture, I should say. It's so on the nose for what it's like to rely on something, drugs or drug-like, to deal with one's problems. And then on top of that, we get that her mom, Mia's mom, in quotes, overdosed on pills, right?
Yeah, I didn't get that until I read the wiki page, but watching the film, I had no idea.
Yeah, because it kind of starts to become incoherent, the whole thread with her mom.
Yes.
And I think we lose a little bit of that, unfortunately, because that could have helped tie in this is all about drugs. Yeah, kind of thing. And I feel like that was a really missed thread, and I guess take everything what I said, kind of with not with a grain of salt, but at
face value,
at not a heavy criticism value, I guess, because I do like this film a lot, but I just feel like, how would you say that?
Like it's missing something.
Yeah, but it's still really good. It's not like it's missing something like The Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid's missing everything. This has got so much good in there, but it's just missing the every other good thing.
It's missing like the sprinkles on the top. You got your good ice cream.
Yeah, that's a good
cream,
way.
But
yes.
It needed that, maybe you got your sprinkles, but it needed that cherry.
Yeah, or the candles, or even,
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. we got a great cake here. Great layers. All right. Nice and juicy. Is that what it is? Is that how you describe cakes? Juicy?
Moist.
I like juicy. But we're missing some of the accoutrements, you might say. So you're right. I do like this film. I don't like it as much as maybe you thought, though, because I'm floating between like my letterbox at 2.5 and a 3.
Yeah, I didn't think you liked it.
I don't like it as much as X or Pearl.
Okay.
I probably like it as much as the Babadook, and I don't know. I haven't seen the Babadook since it came out, but It Follows. It kind of fits into that boat.
Gotcha.
It Follows suffers from a similar thing, except it doesn't. It Follows really only stays on one fucking note the whole movie. That trauma follows you around and influences the people around you and stuff. It's just like, okay, we get it, you know. So like it suffers from a different angle that we can talk about in another episode. But long story short, I do like this film. Please, though, talk to me about why you like this film.
Well, let me start off by saying I think we watched 2 completely different films here. Because I didn't get any of the drug metaphor.
Yeah, I think this would be more of a metaphor than an allegory. Because allegories are a little less cut and dry. Like, this is like 1-to-1. Like, that fucking montage scene, straight ripped out of Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah.
This movie, I think this movie has a lot of Requiem for a Dream in it, actually.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. But I guess my line of thinking was more on maybe we're in a different type of society here, or future or something just different, just something off about this world, that we have the ability to get possessed, and possession is something that's no longer feared, so to say. You know, it's still something feared because obviously all the shit they go through, but it's something we can have fun with. Like, we transcended the Ouija board, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where my view was on what we had going on here.
That's interesting.
Like, that this is now what kids do at parties. They get together and they record each other getting possessed.
I took that as the filmmakers coming at this from a little bit more of a cynical point of view, and that we just, not necessarily monetarily, but we just profit socially or monetarily on other people's kind of trauma and grief. And in that everything is just kind of fun and games. And so I feel like there's this kind of meta that we almost need to speak to some kind of ethereal realm to, you know, I guess get a hand, you know? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Okay.
But then it is the drug, and then you become addicted, and then you started this whole cycle by trying to get a grip with reality, but hence, you know, why you take the drug, but taking the drug makes you less and less grounded from reality, and so you become more and more dependent upon it. You see what I'm saying? And so that's why we see Mia here become basically obsessed to the point that she is trying to get other people to be like, here, just take this one more time. Hold this hand, take this drug one more time. It'll fix all the problems. It'll fix all your problems.
Yeah, I guess I can see that when you explain it that way, but it just, watching it didn't
give you that?
Didn't give me that whatsoever.
That's all. I like that.
And it was just, honestly, I was just kind of confused on why is this girl...
Well,
why is this girl so obsessed with her possessed mother? You know, not that like, obviously that's not your mom, and you're hurting yourself and people. So I didn't get the why. That wasn't like a hit for me on why she was so obsessed. And you know,
I totally feel you. At face value, that's where the incoherency kind of starts to play in, I think.
Yeah. And then me not catching on that her mom overdosed, or unless it was said. And honestly, I had a hard time with the accents too.
A couple of these guys had some, I don't know if it was like thick Australian accents or just, you know, from where they were or whatever in Australia. But yes, some of their accents were pretty nuts.
Struggle there, and no subtitles killed me.
Yeah.
So
fortunately, Mia was pretty good.
Fortunately, our main character we could understand. But yeah, I guess I lost some of that on what happened to the mom. I thought she just killed herself. Maybe she was going through some depression. I don't know, and just killed herself, but didn't want Mia to know. I don't know. There was a bit of confusion there with the mom story. But I guess the reason I liked this film was the horror elements, the creepy elements that, are near and dear to my getting scared factor.
Yeah.
We have demons, and we have these really creepy people that just they look nasty as fuck, and they look so cool. I mean, that makeup was very well done here. And we had different types of our creepy possessed people here, and I like that. We had a variety of them, and then just some of the scary bits were just they were great. I mean, the one that comes to mind for me was when there was something in the corner, and I'm like, oh no, there's something in the corner, but you can't tell. Is there something in the corner? I don't know. Which is probably what people didn't like about this film. All the kind of tropes, maybe some campiness here because we have some teens, but there did end up something being in the corner, and I had to cover my eyes because I couldn't take it anymore. And I mean, this film left me a little bit disturbed afterwards because of how creepy everything looked, which I really like that. But that was pretty much it for me. Like the story, your message here about grief, I just wasn't on the same page. I just wasn't connecting the dots here.
Yeah, I mean, I think unless you connect it to the drug point of view, or unless you connect it to the drug angle, the grief angle just doesn't go anywhere. There's like it doesn't really have a chance to ground itself because it's a possession movie. At face value, I think this film is really effective in a lot of ways. I do think the story suffers unless you can come at it from the drug angle. I don't know if that's just me. Apparently, you did not connect it, and you suffered a little bit story-wise.
Yeah, for sure.
And so maybe there's something to that. I think this is a pretty effective and successful movie, so I hope there's more than one way to kind of dissect this for people who, have different lives than me or you, right? But yeah, I think some of the scariness, the scary elements were caught in such a cool way that it just goes to show you that you can do really tropey things like hide shit in a corner over and over again and other stuff, right? But if you just capturing it just right and painting that picture of what it looks like on screen and how it interacts with our main character that I think is very good, and we're like on her side and stuff for the most part, it's really effective. I think it's really cool in that way, and it's cool that Danny and Michael were able to pull that out of these actors and stuff, and have the camera guy, and because they're not traditional filmmakers, and that's cool.
Yeah.
I do like the creativity of some of the horrifying elements, I guess.
Yeah, and then there's some like jarring elements here that I really enjoyed too. I guess we have the introduction that it starts out with I think it's a brother looking for his brother, right? And they're at a party, and obviously one of them's disturbed, and then he fucking stabs him, and I'm like, okay, this is the type of movie we're in, let's go. And then it cuts off.
Well, then he stabs himself.
Yes, and then he fucking stabs himself. That's right, I forgot about that. Yes.
And you're just
then I'm like, oh, I'm choking on my sandwich, like it was insane. And then fast forward a little bit to Mia, blah blah blah, and then her and Riley, which honestly I was a bit confused on the relationship there for the longest time, but I'll tell you about that in a second. But we have her and Riley, and they're driving, they're singing, this kind of happy moment, I guess, of them singing in the car, and then there's this poor kangaroo on the ground that got hit, it got hurt somehow, and Riley's like, okay, put it out of its misery, run it over. And I didn't know if they were going to go there or not, but I did not want to watch that. And I'm glad that they didn't go there for my, humanity, my sanity. But then it would have been so fucking cool if they did go there. But then I guess that kind of ties to her personality of who she is. So, okay, I get that. So, I don't know. But that was so disturbing, seeing that little kangaroo like that, all suffering. And she didn't put it out of its misery. So, that was not cool. But the family thing, I thought that was her little brother. And then, she went to, is it Jade? Is that her name? Yeah, she went to Jade's house. And then Jade and Riley were obviously brother and sister. So I thought she was like an adopted sister here, which is kind of true. And then they just, I don't know. She just lived in the guest room or in the living room. And then she went and visited her dad every once in a while. And then she's like, all right, Dad, I'm going to Mom's. But then there wasn't a good mother and daughter relationship. So I was very confused until like maybe more than halfway I realized what was going on. But that probably might have just been me and the whole, not understanding half of what was said here, especially in the beginning. I got kind of used to it towards the middle, so I picked up on it. But really in the beginning I was a bit confused.
I get that. Yeah, I wouldn't say it was super clear. It wasn't super explicit or anything. But I think they were just trying to build up that, she's part of the family. Mm-hmm. Part of Jade's family.
Yeah, I got that afterwards.
Yeah, because we hardly get anything at her house. So
yeah,
it kind of makes us feel a little detached from that. And I think that's important because she's afraid to go home. She's afraid to be at home because she feels guilty. That kind of thing. And the only time we see her at home, I think, is with the hand, with her drug, and she's able to cope.
Yeah. Kind
of thing. So, no, I get that. What do you think of the hand itself?
I thought the hand looked cool.
I love the hand. I love that. I thought they were going to break it at some point. I guess there's going to be a sequel, so we're going to get a broken hand at some point. And we're going to see the inside of it. Inside of the ceramic encased hand. And all the markings on it and Sharpie and graffiti and stuff.
That's cool.
It's very cool. I like that.
Yeah, I did too. Because the hand is, they said, right, that it was the hand of
we don't know.
Someone else.
It's all these different stories around the hand. It was like, someone said that it was like, I think the guy said it was the hand of some Egyptian dude. And then the friend, Haley and Joss were the friends, the duo.
Yep.
Yeah, and then Haley was like, no, I heard that was from a hand of a Satanist or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Something like that.
Okay, I guess I didn't hear the other dude.
Yeah, so there's no one knows kind of thing,
so
which is super cool, right?
Okay,
and so there's going to be a prequel, too, for this film. I can't believe. Both these films might come out next year, too. It's going to be nuts. But I hope the prequel was a little bit more of like a dramatic, less horror, like more, I guess it could still be horrifying, but I guess a little bit more dramatic, a little bit more of just a different cinematic kind of take, kind of like Pearl and X, where Pearl is just this weird 1950s kind of spin on this character, and it's it's neat, right?
Yep.
I hope something similar happens with the prequel here, where we get a little bit about the hand, and it's just a little bit, feels just a little bit different than Talk to Me feels, and then I don't Talk to Me 2 or whatever they're gonna call it. I wish they wouldn't, because it kind of starts to deflate some of my narrative here.
Wait, you wish they wouldn't call it Talk to Me too?
I wish it wouldn't happen because it but I'm fine if it does. I'll be happy to watch it, if they're going to make great films, and because it's kind of like, how I feel about John Wick, where I've always felt like John Wick is trying to say something a little deeper than it may first appear, and I've recently, kind of thought that I also think it has to do with being addicted to drugs. So maybe I'm just on this. I'm on this.
You're
on this kick.
Something. You're addicted to drugs.
I'm addicted to finding people addicted on drugs.
You're becoming addicted to the addicted.
But yeah, I do think I do think there's something deeply profound about John Wick on that level as well. But yeah, I liked how we hardly ever got to see the demon. Like if Mia looked away, we generally looked away.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the one where she was looking in on like the guys who have Riley's soul. They're like these bunch of like naked guys or something. I don't even know. It was fucking weird. I wish I could have seen it for like 5 seconds longer, but it was gone before I could really focus in on anything. It was just like flesh overload. It was very cool.
Yeah, and some of the behind the scenes videos I watched, what are they called? The practical effects people. I don't know their title. They're just practical effects people.
Yeah, practical effects artists. Masters.
Artists. Okay, yeah.
They call them prop masters. The prop master guy.
Prop master?
They call them prop masters.
Oh.
So maybe artist master.
Artist
or practical masters.
All right. Those guys. That they actually filmed that for like 2 days or something. And they had this, I don't know how long, scene of that going on, but I guess the editors decided to take that out, so they were a little bit disappointed that happened.
Dang.
Especially with the amount of work that went in trying to get some of that, going, for lack of better words, and then it was just like, nope, just here's 5 seconds of it. So they were a little butthurt about that.
I get that.
Funny.
I get that. It's a pretty effective little bit, but I get that.
It's just funny that, you're each in your own department, and your job matters so much, but then is it just up to the editors to be like, nope, that doesn't make sense, even though you spent, however much amount of money and time and tears and sweat, it's cut.
Yep.
That sucks.
Yep. That's why you want your director to be the main creative and in charge here, because he's the major player during production. He should also be the major player in post.
And you should befriend the editor.
That could
editing team.
Oh yeah.
There you go. Bring them all donuts.
Yeah, a lot of times the editors are on set these days because of just how fast people can get things done now.
That's pretty cool.
So you probably will be befriending some of them. But yeah, that's a little unfortunate. But ironically, it's still very effective without, and it may not have been as effective if we saw more of it. It was so fast. It was so fleshy. It was so much just happening sensation in just a quarter of a second. You wanted more?
I wanted more.
Yeah.
I wanted to understand.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that would have helped me understand on some of the bits I didn't understand, but maybe I could have drawn my own conclusion if I would have gotten a little bit more there on what was going on, or even help me, understand the end too. Which I like that. I like the end, where she basically sacrificed herself for Riley, and I guess that ties back to the whole family thing, that she was part of the family. She looked out for her little brother. But I'm talking about the end where she's, I don't know where she's at. The darkness.
It's like limbo or something.
Yeah. Where she's there and then she gets called in. She gets summoned with another hand from somewhere else. That's cool.
You like that?
I like that.
Yeah, I thought that was a baller-ass move.
Yes.
A lot of times your movies that revolve around the usage of drugs, you tend to have not as much death as you might expect, because the death part is, for a lot of people who have been involved in the practice so long, that's when they kind of get off the train and win in their own way.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a little, I think it's pretty bold of them actually to have taken her from the beginning to the end of her drug abuse so quickly. And I guess that's typically how you'd probably find it too. The people who only are briefly addicted to drugs probably are the ones who die the soonest, and then the people who live with it for their whole life, they never die. They just continue to take it until they're in their fucking whatevers. And they're always brought back, or they have their sitter and stuff. The ambulance is here, but not for Mia.
Yeah, well, I liked it because, again, I had no drug metaphor in my head whatsoever watching this. So to me, it was like, okay, typical with possession movies, you get possessed and then you're no longer possessed. And then the demon went off wherever they went off to. But now we get to see where the demon's going off to.
Yeah.
So, that's just that.
It's cool. It's super cool. And I guess then I take that specific point just kind of indicates the cycle continues.
Yeah.
For the drugs.
But for me, it's the possession.
Yeah. No, which is excellent. And I like that it was like with some like.
Which is funny because, here's these kids. First of all, there's my first clue. There's kids at a party. Second clue. Doing things, everyone filming, being stupid.
Yeah.
Third clue.
The montage.
And then the montage. Fifth clue. And then the fucking pupils being dilated as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Hello. But nope.
And the little brother wanting to partake.
Yeah. And then the little sister, not little sister, the big sister getting pissed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, you're not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Mom's not going to let you, Mom's going to kill me if she knows I let you do that.
I'm not crazy, right? It makes sense.
No, you're not crazy. Because when you said it afterwards, I was like, okay, I can see that. And it's funny because there were clues. But I agree. There was that something there that probably would have confirmed it for me too. That, okay, yeah, he was definitely right. This is definitely a metaphor for drugs. But then I'm just saying, me watching it without any preconceived notions, I guess, because I don't really know anyone that does drugs. I know what drugs are. They're on TV, but that's it for me on drugs.
Well, TV does a pretty good job of displaying, drugs.
Yeah, and then like parties and stuff, I don't think drugs. I think alcohol.
Yeah, you don't think drugs and alcohol?
No, just alcohol or games. I guess I'm a nerd. I guess nerds don't do drugs. I don't know.
Yeah, nerds are just smoking weed.
Yeah. And that's not a drug. That's not the drug we're talking about here in this movie. And then, you have your very broad overall category of drugs. Like food can be some people's drugs. So, yeah, maybe I need to process this movie more. But yeah, there was definitely something there that was missing for me.
Yeah, it sounds like it was the cohesion of the story.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't really have. It's the fun tightrope kind of walk you get in metaphorical movies or allegorical movies. Is if the metaphor or whatever doesn't hit, it doesn't even need to hit the intended way. Just hit a way, it can help flesh out the story more than the actual movie can. Because it's just kind of giving you all of the nodes, and you know the rest because you've seen it or you've experienced it or whatever, or you just know about it, you're for whatever reason. And so that's kind of funny, but there's also something really cool to say. I think, I don't mean to beat a dead horse from film to film, but it's really cool when a film can be successful on multiple levels. And so you can still have a good time even though it doesn't, X, Y, and Z doesn't hit, Yeah. It's still a fun watch, especially from a, like, I don't want to say cinematic experience, but yeah, kind of cinematic experience in the realm of horror films. Horror films don't flex this fun use of camera and capturing a lot of that. And I mean, for example, like when they, when their heads would fall back and their eyes would dilate and stuff, I feel like, I don't know, but I feel like the lens would all of a sudden made their face look a little distorted, like it was on a fish lens or something like that, fisheye lens. And I'm not sure if it was or not. Probably was. Who fucking knows? Do you know?
I just know that they played a lot with the contact size to make, especially then in the montage scene, they were the practical effects people and I guess the makeup artists were talking about how just fun hell, I guess, it was for them to film that montage scene because it was a lot of like 5-minute, here you looked a certain way and then boom, another 5-minute costume or I guess makeup change, and they were just she was just talking about how quickly she had to kind of distort someone's face with makeup, and then the contact size would just increase as the montage scene increased.
Yeah.
And they would, I guess play around a little bit with CGI to make that flow well, but
Yeah, I saw that they were really anal about using practical everywhere
Yeah.
they can, and then VFX for, to kind of complement it. And, in the way it should always be, right? We shouldn't abuse the VFX, right?
That's when I knew you'd like this film.
Oh, yeah.
When they said that.
Yeah. No, they did an excellent job. That montage scene, I mean, that's award-winning stuff.
Yes.
It really is. Horror films don't get nominated for shit, but except horror award shows, but they, that's awesome. That's one of the coolest things I've seen all year. That montage bit.
I agree. I definitely
Very
agree.
cool. And it's crazy that it came out of a super indie team. This is a very indie movie.
And the music that was tied to that montage scene, and then, but I guess it was a song. I don't know if it's a specific song or what. I didn't look into that, but when she started singing that song that was playing during the montage scene, that was awesome. That gave me kind of chills there. It was great. But I mean, these are YouTube dudes. I don't think it gets more indie than that, does it?
Yes and no. I guess the indie differentiator there would be monies, because they're able to fund this. They're a voice. They are able to get other producers to kind of back this. My film people at my film class, no, we'd have a hard time scraping together probably $10,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, that makes sense.
Although you can make a movie like Saw on that kind of shoestring budget too, though. So you never really know what can happen.
Another thing I saw a lot of reviews on was people kind of on the same train that you were going on here with drugs.
You saw that online?
I did, but very few people. But I saw more of people comparing this, or I guess what they were doing, to TikTok challenges.
Yeah, and I guess that was kind of like what I was saying, where we like profiting on people's, I don't know, just tendencies to do fucking stupid ass things, weird things, and I get that. Yeah, no, I can, like the Tide Pod thing.
Yeah, like a lot of, I don't know why my mind is blinking right now on TikTok challenges. Maybe because, I didn't partake, but I definitely watched them. I guess I'm part of the problem here, but yeah, but I didn't see any of this watching the movie. Maybe I was too focused on getting spooked by not getting spooked, And I also read or listened to reviews of people saying that people were saying, so no one directly saying it, just them saying that other people have been saying.
Kind of like how in Guardians 2, they were all like, I know everyone says this is not very good, but, it's really good.
Yes.
But, like, where is anyone saying it's not very good?
Who are the people? Yeah. That this was better than Hereditary.
Oh, my God.
And then they're like,
that's funny.
But it's not better than Hereditary. It's like, who are these people? Let me know who these people are that are actually saying it.
So I don't think anyone actually said that, first of all. I think that came from an article that was floating around.
Okay.
About how it's outperforming Hereditary, I think domestically or something like that. And since then, it hasn't. It's plateaued dramatically. It's done. It's made its money. It's over for Talk to Me. It made lots of money. I'm very happy for them. But
that's funny.
Yeah.
Because it was a lot of people.
I think that's where it started.
Those people over there are saying that it's better than Hereditary, but it's not. I still love Hereditary, and I'm like, who's I listened to maybe a few reviews on YouTube, but I definitely read quite a bit, and no one said this is better than Hereditary. People did say it's my favorite horror movie of the year.
Yeah,
which I'd have to think about that, but
that's probably true. If I had the shoe from the hip right now, that's probably true.
You think so?
Yeah, definitely isn't Scream 6. Tell you that.
That's
or whatever.
True. That's very true.
The second of the trilogy that's about to happen. Unfortunately, not to sound like one of those guys, but Hereditary is just on a completely different level of filmmaking.
Yeah, I completely agree with you.
It's just not even in the same ballpark for me.
No, not at all.
both, complete must watches though. Totally. I wouldn't probably put this in the top 50 of horror movies. I don't know. I'd have to flesh it out, but it's definitely in the top 50 of really kind of creatively made horror movies.
Yeah, that probably would be my only reason to recommend this film. But I wouldn't recommend this film to just anybody like I would Hereditary.
I think Hereditary is one of the greatest movies ever made.
I'm not that bold.
I think it's culturally important.
To watch Hereditary? Yeah. With Talk to Me, I think you just really need to watch that montage scene and you're pretty much good.
Yeah, as far as masterclass kind of filmmaking goes, I think that's probably true. But I'm a sucker for, some kind of commentary, metaphor, allegorical nonsense. I like reading into a film. Because it's fun when you can make a film kind of fit a metaphor or some kind of fairy tale fable story or something. It's fun when you can find that structure within films, because it doesn't necessarily have something to say about what the film's trying to tell you, but it does have something to say about how we tell stories, and that's very cool.
Yeah.
So that's probably the main driving factor there for me. But yeah, I mean, that's good to hear that I'm not alone on the drug connection or the kind of turning to drugs for some kind of relief connection, not just the drugs,
Yeah, you're not alone, but there's a small circle of you.
I didn't look too hard, but I didn't see much because I like to read Roger Ebert reviews, other website. I guess he's has since passed away, but his website run by a collection of people that I think he championed. He's one of these people to kind of continue his name and his publication, I guess, after he passed away. I think he died in 2008, if I'm not mistaken. Roger Ebert's just probably the most famous film critic.
Yeah, I mean,
a little bit before our time, but
I've read the website.
Yeah,
I didn't know that was a person's. You know what I'm trying to say? I didn't know that was him, but I have read him before.
Yeah,
I guess to me the website is more popular than the person
at this point. Yeah, this point
that makes sense because I, didn't know him.
Yeah, I didn't either until last few years,
or bother to look into him, I should say.
But I did not see the drug thing mentioned anywhere, so I was just like, huh. I was like, am I off base here? I was like, I'm not sure. But yeah, thank you for confirming that for me. Yeah, but you were correct in that I like this film. I'm gonna try to keep you on your toes. Try to keep my mouth shut after the movie.
Good.
So you can guess.
Me too. I'm gonna try to keep my expressions to myself. I guess one last thing I want to add is, I guess just how cool some of those practical effects were, especially with some of the really gross and then just really violent scenes. I guess I'm thinking of when Riley was beating the shit out of his face and slamming it into whatever he could. And they talked a little bit about that, how it was rubber tables, and then they had a dummy, and then they had a stunt double. So that was just crazy to hear that it was all that just for what, 5 minutes, if that, not even.
Yeah, not even.
Yeah, like
2 minutes.
2 minutes, yeah. And then just some of the more gross stuff, like when, what's his name, the boyfriend dude. Yeah, when Daniel got possessed and he was licking the dog. I mean, he was making out with the dog, really. That was just kind of gross. And then when Riley's on the hospital floor and he's bleeding everywhere, and then he starts licking the blood off the hospital bathroom floor. It's like, double grossness.
That was good. Those were good.
So I mean, that was cool. That was cool.
What do you think of Riley? He was kind of a spectacle in this movie.
I thought he did okay, for a child actor. I don't know how old he's supposed to be here. I know Mia is supposed to be 17, and she looks like she's around 17, so I think we're not too far off the ages here. So maybe he's like, what, 14? I thought he did okay. He's supposed to be an awkward kid that his sister won't let him do anything, and he's got a really great connection with Mia, and that's what I got, and that's what was delivered. And then I guess the rest of the movie, he's in the hospital with his face all swollen and stuff, so not mad at his performance. What about you? You think he did okay? I know earlier you said that they were all pretty much weak except our main girl.
Yeah, he's probably the second best. He did okay because he was kind of like what I said, just this spectacle performance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these little outbursts and stuff, and those were cool.
Yeah, and if he's got dummies and stunt doubles helping him out, you know, not saying that he didn't do the work here, but
yeah, it's less of a performative thing and more of just, you know, capturing that moment.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, kind of all direction at that point. So yeah, it's he did decent, but yeah, these other guys just, they were so just.
I did read a lot of people, almost every review that was reviewing the performances give the mom like that she did the best, or that they were so glad she was in this film because she's just awesome. And I don't know, the mom was okay.
Which mom? Mia's mom or the other one?
The other one, Jade's
mom.
Riley's mom.
She was fine. Yeah, I guess as far as the narrative goes, I do think I think she may have a little. Did she overreact when the thing happened to Riley and she was, you know, she thought she blamed Mia?
I think she was a bit of a overreactor throughout the whole film.
Okay, so she was just a little dramatic.
I think so.
Yeah, I thought she was fine. She was.
Yeah.
It could have been any mom, to be honest.
Because, you know, she's like, you better not throw a party. And then she, like, went in each room and told each person that they better not be throwing a party. And then the doorbell rings and it's Daniel. And she's like, are you guys throwing a party? And then she leaves. It's like, well, if you're so concerned that your kids are throwing a party, why don't you stay? Or why don't you, I don't know. Why are you that concerned? Like, that was a little weird.
Yeah.
But I guess she's in a lot of stuff.
Oh, okay. So she's just got a little bit of a fandom behind her. Okay.
That makes sense.
I got that.
Annabelle?
She's in Annabelle?
Annabelle Creation?
That's the best Annabelle.
That's the best Annabelle? Madeline?
That must be the mom.
Yeah. And I guess
or
she's
the foster mother. It's a foster home.
I don't remember.
Oh, you've seen it too. Yeah, you don't remember?
I don't remember. Maybe my eyes were closed half the time. And she's in the Lord of the Rings.
I've never seen it.
Movies. So, yeah, there's probably a little fandom there.
Okay.
What do you think about the poster?
Yeah, I like it. It's a good poster. It's not amazing or anything, but I do think I like that you can't see the back of the hand, you know. So, and it gives the impression of it reaching out and connected to something, of course, right? And I like that. It's cool. It's got the graffiti on it. That's fun. It's on black. You know, bold black posters are always welcome. Maybe in 50 years, I'm going to say the same thing I say about, you know, the stupid ass fucking group of people in a triangle or in a line or in some kind of diamond shape on the, you know, just imagine every other pop culture fucking poster is something, there's some kind of line or a triangle or rhombus or fucking diamond shaped amount of people on there, and we don't really have that here. So I appreciate it from that angle for sure.
That right there.
Yeah. But no, it's sick. It's sick. I like that. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree. If I were to look at this poster without knowing anything about the film, I wouldn't want to watch it because it looks creepy.
I would think that doesn't look generic. That's what I would say.
I would think I need someone to watch this with me because it does look creepy, and I like that you can't tell if it's a person or. I mean, looking at it, I wouldn't think it's a hand that you touch and get possessed with. I think it's a person that's got some kind of weird writing on them, almost alienish.
Yeah, there's
but
almost
creepy. Definitely.
Yeah,
creepy.
no, absolutely. There's almost this, you know, it kind of ties into that, reaching out to connect with kind of thing, like I was saying earlier.
Damn.
You like that?
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. All right.
And then, then we know it by the end that's actually, that's Mia's hand. She's still looking to connect, even in the afterlife. She doesn't have there's no rest for the wicked. Yeah. Bring that up. Well, man, thank you for watching this film with me. I very much enjoyed it. I very much was looking forward to this film.
You're welcome. I was not looking forward to this. I didn't know about this.
I can't remember if it was in my top, most anticipated films I had laid out at the earlier part of this year. I can't remember if it was part of that list or not. But do you, my friend, have a budget guess?
I do. My budget guess is 1 to 2 million. I was originally thinking 1, but I don't know because there were a lot of practical effects. But then it's horror, so then it's YouTubers, so I don't know. 1 to 2 million.
Yeah, something tells me they know how to stretch their money too.
That's true.
Yeah, so I would guess probably pretty low too. It says here that was $4.5 million.
Whoa.
So that's excellent.
How long was the movie again?
With credits, 95 minutes, so probably 86, 87 minutes.
All right.
I guess someone in post put those credits together, so you can include those.
Yeah, you should include it.
Some credits are really cool, as we know, when they roll out there. It's like, oh shit, they put way too much effort in these credits. That happens, we know that. It's gone on to make $68.9 million, though. And I think it's still a theater, so it might cross that $70 million mark, but that's
Holy shit, that's
good.
awesome.
They are a very wealthy group of folks now.
And this is their directorial debut?
I think so.
I think so too.
Yep, and they're going to have 2 more after this.
All right.
As far as we know.
Good job. Good job, guys.
Do you have a game for me today?
I do. I have a few questions for you on what you would have done if you were Mia here. Or I guess if you were in this film. Whatever. However you want to look at it. Would you do it? Would you touch the hand? Would you talk to it and let it, what do they say? Possess me? Come into me? Enter me? I let you in.
Okay.
I let you in. Would you let it in?
No, probably not. I would touch it and say, talk to me so I could see it, but I probably wouldn't let it in.
Smart. Smart.
Yeah.
Nope, I'm not touching that thing. If I find out that anyone has something even remotely close to this hand, I'm not talking to them. I'm erasing their contact info. Just no.
It's worse than a Ouija board.
It is worse than a Ouija board. I'm already like that with people with Ouija boards. A Ouija board is not welcome in my home. It's not welcome in my car. I'm kind of get goosebumps when I see it at the store.
They sell them at Barnes & Noble.
I know. And
I think Target.
Oh my God, why? All right. Would you have killed yourself like Mia did in the end? Or would you have thrown Riley's ass into the cars?
I guess I probably would have tossed Riley.
Me too. Sorry, Riley. All right. Next question. Would you have run over that kangaroo and, let its suffering stop?
Yeah, what did that kangaroo symbolize?
That she doesn't know how to stop suffering, right? Is that it?
Maybe. Yeah, I wouldn't run it over in my car. If I was in a truck or something.
Oh my
God. My car is way too low to the ground. It'd fucking destroy my car. But yeah, if I was in a truck, I'd run the fuck over it.
You would?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I could do it.
I'd be happy to run over some animals in a truck.
That are suffering already.
Yeah.
Sure.
The ones that get in my way.
Yeah, I don't know if I could bring myself to do it. Not like I haven't done it on accident. Jesus, I felt so bad. I start crying immediately. But you can't help it when they're just crossing for no fucking reason. Jeez, animals need to learn.
They need bridges.
They do. Oh, that'd be so cute. Animal bridges. Animal Crossing.
Damn.
All right. Last question. So, in the bathroom scene where Jade is helping clean Riley up, like Jade and the mom are cleaning Riley, like I guess giving him a bath, and they're in the bathroom, and then I don't know what makes him start going all crazy bananas, and he starts like hitting himself and stuff. And while we were watching that, I was getting kind of mad that she wasn't doing anything to stop him. So how would you have handled that situation? She just let him bash his head.
Yeah, I like that.
I would have done the same too.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna let him just do his thing.
No.
Cause in a movie, I feel like you normally do see like someone just got to intervene with the fucking problem here, and she's like in shock. She's just like, "Oh my god, what the fuck,
Mom? No, man, call a nurse.
Yeah,
help him stop."
I didn't realize they were at the hospital still. I was like,
Yeah.
when she was yelling for mom, I was like, "Are they at home?" Because I was like, that's what I thought. She should have said, "Mom, nurse." She should have said he should have. Yeah, Jade should have said both.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have fucking done anything.
No?
No.
You wouldn't try to stop him? That's
No.
what I was thinking the whole time.
I would have yelled, "Nurse! Nurse!" I would have walked out there like
ran out there.
Yeah. We got a problem in here. Not fucking with that.
And
he bit me.
I don't know about he bit you.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know about Australian hospital bathrooms, but here we have little emergency handles similar to like, fire what do you call those? Like fire alarms?
Yeah.
You have an alarm similar to that you
in the bathroom?
In the bathroom.
Oh.
That immediately calls someone for help. So if you don't have that,
dang, not immersive, not realistic.
Exactly.
Worst movie ever.
Worst movie ever.
Didn't get the fucking bathroom right. Oh my god.
Maybe Australians don't have that. Maybe they're over there. They're used to fighting demons and kangaroos.
They fight kangaroos, yeah.
Scorpions, so they don't need no help.
Yeah,
you don't know. Us weaklings need over here.
And we have UFC over here. They have UFK.
UFK.
Yeah. Ultimate Fighting Kangaroos. I think they still walk their jobs too. They don't have cars.
The kangaroos?
Yeah, the kangaroos. And the kangaroos direct traffic.
Oh my
gosh. For the humans. It's wild over there.
Yeah, so maybe they don't have alarms. They don't need that. Who knows? But all right, thank you. Now I feel like I know a little bit more about you.
All right. I think I know more about you too. I don't know what I'm going to do with that information, but I'll figure something out.
Same here.
Well, man, do you have any final thoughts for me? Y'all tapped out?
I'm all tapped out.
Well, thank you for watching this film with me. Thank you for talking to me about this film today.
You're welcome.
And thank you guys for listening to this episode of the Filmistines. You can join us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for brand new episodes covering all sorts of films, including your favorites, because you can request your film at the $5 level at patreon.com/filmistines. Come request films. We're in dire need of good films over here. Well, we just covered a good one, but Strays,
Ugh.
That's a shitty film. But go listen to our review. It's funny. Is it funny?
I think it's funny.
Okay. But until next time, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of the Filmistines. Thanks for tuning in and joining us on our cinematic journey. We hope you enjoyed our discussion and gained some new insights and perspectives in the world of movies. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform, especially Patreon, at patreon.com/filmistines, and follow us on social media for more film-related content. We love hearing from our listeners, so if you have any feedback, suggestions, movie recommendations, or book recommendations, please feel free to reach out to us. Until next time, keep watching and keep loving the magic of movies. This is the Filmistines, signing off.